An old game just got a fresh AI makeover you can play right now. This is Models and Agents for Beginners, episode 135. Over the past week, OpenAI has been rolling out clearer ways to understand its lineup of tools. Google introduced a lighter model aimed at everyday coding tasks. Anthropic has been testing ways to tag its text so readers can spot machine help. These threads show companies slowly making AI features more approachable without needing technical know-how. The Nord and BERT update fits right into that pattern of dusting off older creative work. Back in 1987, a studio called Infocom released a word puzzle game called Nord and BERT Couldn't Make Head or Tail of It. The entire game runs on puns, idioms, and language twists instead of battles or quests. Imagine a giant book of lateral thinking riddles where every object hides a joke inside its name. Ethan Mollick took the now free original code and asked an AI system called Codex to update the interface. The AI smoothed out a few puzzles that used 1980s slang while keeping every original joke intact. Think of it like having a patient translator who rewrites old street signs so newcomers can still follow the same directions. The result adds a cleaner screen and friendlier hints so players today do not get stuck on old typing rules. This matters because classic games often fade when their original screens feel clunky. Here, AI acts like a bridge that carries 40-year-old puzzles forward instead of letting them sit on a shelf. For you, it means a free way to practice wordplay that shows up in school essays, social media posts, and even game design work later. You can open any browser and head straight to the updated version without installing anything. Pick a starting spot and type short commands such as "look at the sign" or "use the pun." The same inputs always give the same results, so you can share the experience with friends. Picture your phone keyboard guessing the next word while you text a friend. Now stretch that same guesswork across a full sentence or puzzle clue to figure out what the writer probably meant. The AI has already read millions of books, jokes, and old game transcripts, so it recognizes thousands of similar word tricks. When a 1987 puzzle leans on outdated slang, the system quietly offers a clearer version of the same joke. The answer itself stays exactly as the original designer intended. It is like a super fast research assistant who has already studied every book you might need and only fixes the confusing parts. Because the source code is now open, anyone can run this helper across the whole set of puzzles at once. No one has to fix them one by hand anymore. Once you see the process this way, AI feels less like magic and more like a helpful editor that works behind the scenes. That same idea of mixing existing pieces shows up in another simple tool worth trying. Game Combiner takes descriptions from 146,000 real video games and turns them into number patterns called vectors. Think of each game as a point plotted on a giant map built only from genres and player tags. Pick any two games you already know, and the site finds the exact mathematical midpoint between their points. The result is always a real existing game you can look up, never something invented. It works like measuring the halfway spot between two cities on a road map and discovering a third town that sits there. Go to gamecombiner.com on your phone or laptop. Choose two titles such as Minecraft and Animal Crossing and hit Combine. The site shows the closest real game to that midpoint with no sign-up required. Another development this week involves marking AI text so people can tell where it came from. Anthropic shared details about an invisible pattern added to writing from its Claude system. The pattern sits inside word choices, and a special detector can spot it later, while regular readers never notice anything odd. It is like slipping invisible ink into a letter that only shows up under a certain light. Schools and news sites can use the mark to check whether a paragraph came from a person or a model. The pattern does not touch code, and it can disappear if someone edits the text heavily afterward. If you stream on Twitch, Amazon now has permission to use your clips and voice to train its AI models. You can turn the option off in your account settings before any training starts. That is it for today. Remember, every AI expert started exactly where you are right now. If something we talked about today made you curious, go try it. That's literally how learning works. Stay curious, keep experimenting, and we'll see you tomorrow. And if you'd rather watch than listen, Find us on YouTube at Nera Network, links in the show notes. Quick tip from the network. Try Fascinating Frontiers next, the most fascinating news from space and science. Every Nera Network show is free at neranetwork.com. Want the written briefing with source links? Each show keeps a summaries page on neranetwork.com, scannable, dated, and free. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.